Happy update week, ladies and gentlemen. Now, yesterday I did my weekly update video. So I always do the weekly update, everything that's coming a day early so that you guys can prepare for it. But if you saw that video, starting today, we have double money on a few things here. Now, I always like to show you the day that this update goes live, how we can make money this week. Obviously, last week we had the hangar, and the hangar business was amazing last week, especially with the addition of the land vehicles, or the land source missions and delivery missions, I should say. People were making over $1 million an hour. It was fantastic. This week, the double money makers are going to be the LSA operations and the special contracts. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is spending an hour with each of them and then just showing you guys what I made within that hour so you can make the informed decision of what you want to do this week, or do you want to do both? Before we get into that, let me just go over the two businesses here. So first off, we have LSA operations. And as you can see on screen right here, we have 3 missions, very similar to the security contracts. We have direct action, we have surgical strike, and we have whistleblower. Now, I have a video on my channel showing you guys how to do all of these, so I'm not going to be showing you how to do all of them in this video, but I will leave that video linked in the description and at the end of the video. So if you want to see how to do all of these and see where the bonuses are for each of these, then you can go ahead and check that out after this video. But with these 3 missions, obviously you have a professional level and you have a specialist level. The specialist level is just basically you're doing like medium and hard mode. But in all honesty, the specialist, which is the higher paying one, the harder one, it's not that much more difficult, to be honest with you. It only really makes more of a difference if you have one of the bonuses that are going to be on the launch pad, like on the main deck on the launch pad. Like if you have to get the F-160, you're just going to get gunned down a little bit easier. Or if you have to put the trackers on the boxes that are out on the launch pad, that can be a little bit more difficult. But for the most part, the difference between professional and specialist, I would just choose whichever is paying the most money. Now, another thing I should mention with the LSA operations this week, the bonuses are also double money. So let's say typically you get 50,000 for the mission and then 15,000 for the bonus. That's 65,000. But this week, instead of the 50,000 for the mission, you're going to get 100,000. Instead of 15,000 for the bonus, you're going to get 30,000. Now, I would say, depending on what the bonus is and depending on which mission you're doing, sometimes you could just skip the bonus if you feel like it's going to take you too long. But for the most part, the bonuses are easy, and getting an additional 30,000 is nice. Especially, that builds up, right? If you're doing this for an hour and you get an additional 30,000 for each of them, if you're doing, let's say, 6 an hour, which would be 1 every 10 minutes, you're going to get an additional 180,000 an hour. So definitely try and do the bonuses if you can, but if you can't, or it's too difficult to do, or it's going to take too long, just go ahead and skip it. Now, there is a cooldown period on these also, but the way that I'm going to do this and the way you should do it too if you're trying to do this is obviously choose the most expensive one first, the one that's going to pay you the most money. Once that's complete, go on and choose the next one that's the most expensive, and you can just do like the direct action, then the surgical strike, and then the whistleblower, and by the time you get back to direct action, the cooldown will be gone, so you never really will have a cooldown. It's only if you do like direct action over and over and over again, you're going to have to wait for the cooldown. Now let's talk about the security contracts. Very, very similar businesses, and it makes sense that they put 2 of these together. So just like the LSA operations, you get 3 of them. And the pay is honestly quite similar, but the differences with these is you can complete them much faster. These ones can take anywhere from like 5 to 8 minutes to complete, sometimes even less than that. Whereas the LSA missions will take, I would say, on average about 10 minutes to complete, sometimes, again, a little less than that. The good thing about these is you don't have bonuses, so you don't need to worry about, well, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know, but you don't need to worry about going looking for an additional item. And like I say, some of these can be completed in like 3 or 4 minutes. Now, the only difference with these is there is a 5-minute cooldown, which isn't too much, but it's a cooldown for all 3 of them. Unlike the LSA missions where you can just literally go from one to the next to the next. This one, no matter which one you choose to do, it's always going to be a 5-minute cooldown. So if you're going to be doing these, let's say 6 an hour, that's 30 minutes in cooldowns. So that means you need to complete all of these missions in 5 minutes to be able to do 6 in 1 hour. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it to the test. I'm going to spend an hour on each of them, and I'll walk you guys through everything that happened and how much money we got paid. So let's see which one of these is going to be the most profitable in an hour. Let's jump into it. Okay, so the first one I chose to do here was obviously the most expensive, which is Whistleblower, and this was a specialist mission, that's why it's paying more money. So this is 128,000. So in this mission, you just need to head on over, pick up a disguise, and then head on over and get an EMP. Once you found the EMP, you use the cargo bob, drop it off in the little power station or whatever it is you want to call it. Sometimes this mission can bug out. I've had it happen to me, and I've had it happen, or I've seen it happen to other people, where when you fly over and try and drop it, it just doesn't drop it. I'm hoping it's been patched for this update because it hasn't happened to me, but just FYI, if it does happen and it won't let you drop it at all, you're gonna have to restart it. There's no way to fix that. Once you drop off the EMP, you head on over to the underground facility, the IAA facility. Now, once you're inside, you're just gonna take out a bunch of people, and then you're gonna figure out what your objective is. For this one, my objective was to take out the backup generator, and I actually did do it, but I did it too late. I think you have to, when you get the backup generator one, you've got to do it before that timer runs out. So even though I did it, I ended up not getting the bonus for this one, but as you can see right here, once we escape and leave the area, you have to deliver the hard drives to the journalist. Once that's done, leave the area, and as you can see right there, we got 128,000. Even though I did do the bonus, I did it a little bit too late, so I didn't get credit for it. So for the first one, we got 128,000. The next one we did was Surgical Strike. They were all professional this time, but Surgical Strike paid just a little bit more money. Now for this one, you just need to head to an area, look for a smuggler, and then you just need to scan. All you have to do is scan on your phone, walk around next to them. Once you've scanned, it'll give you the location of where you need to go. Now for this one, it's always going to show you a Merryweather base, a little car on the map. Always go to that car. You don't need to, but sometimes the bonus will be to get a disguise outfit. And if you've picked up that car already, then bada bing, bada boom, Bob's your uncle. You've already completed that bonus. But even if that is not your bonus, with the car, as soon as you get inside of it, you're going to be able to drive to the location and walk around without triggering any alarms. You don't need to fight anyone. And for me, for this one, I had to plant tracers, which you have to do on all of them, by the way, on the 3 cargo containers. And then my bonus was stealing the little artifact. What's it called? Yeah, it was an artifact. You can see me pick it up right here. Once you picked up the artifact, you call in an airstrike. I just waited around until they came. There's some bad guys come. You have to steal the HVY Menacer. Once you've taken those out, steal the vehicle, drive back to the location. Bada bing, bada boom, Bob's your uncle, complete. Now, this one actually took me 16 minutes. I feel like I could have done this one faster, but we didn't. But we did get the bonus. So as you can see, for this one, we got the same as last time, 128,000. Now, the reason it was the same price is because we got the bonus. If we didn't get the bonus, it would have been 98, but we got 128. For the next one here, you can see we chose direct action. Again, the reason I chose this is because it was paying more, but also the other two wouldn't allow me even if I wanted to at this point because they still would have been under a cooldown. But once I complete this one, I'll be able to choose any of those again. So for this one, we've all done this, I'm sure, by now, but you just need to drive to the Los Santos International Airport, contact Rooster. Once you've contacted him, he'll fly you on in. Now, at this point, the fastest way to do this is if you land on top of the aircraft carrier. That way you can just run inside, as you can see me do right here, pick up the key cards, and then run downstairs. Now, for me, for this one, my bonus was actually to take out the Juggernaut. Now, I looked for the Juggernaut down below, and he wasn't there, which means the only other place he could be is up top on the landing strip. Now, up there, it is absolute chaos, and I was like, you know what? It's just not worth it. So I was willing to leave the bonus behind on this one, just because I didn't want to go up there and look for the Juggernaut, because you're going to have tons of people shooting at you. Plus the Juggernaut, I just didn't think it was worth it. My time meant more to me in this one. I would rather get this one complete faster and start another one than waste my time trying to find the Jug. So I ended up just running downstairs, opening up these containers. We found it. We blew up the little door thing with our rocket launcher, drove on back, and then bada bing, bada boom, operation complete. And you can see we did this in 7 minutes 51. If I would have had to go looking for the Jug, I'm assuming this would have been closer to like 12, 13 minutes. But I just wanted to get this one done as fast as possible. So for this one, we got 110k. Okay, so I really wanted to do the Surgical Strike, as you can see right here. It was 133,000, but there was a delay, and I didn't want to waste time. So instead, we just went ahead and did the Whistleblower. Now, for this one, it was the same thing. You've already seen me do this once now, but you pick up the EMP, you drop it off, go inside. This time, my bonus was uploading a virus, so you just need to go down into where all the computers are when you first walk in. You'll see a laptop. Go ahead, and you can see it's uploading right there. Once that was done, I went to the main objective, which was stealing the hard drives. We got all the hard drives, delivered it to the journalist, flew away, and bada bing, bada boom, mission complete. Now for this one, since we got the bonus and it was a high paying one, this was our highest one yet at 157,000. So unfortunately, the surgical strike that was showing up last time, the one I wanted, there was like 133. That one had gone, but we did get the direct action, as you can see here, for 135,000. So that's the one we did next. So same thing, we went to the airport, picked up Rooster, dropped us off, landed on the top, got our key cards, went downstairs, and this time our bonus was the trackers. So all I needed to do was jump down. As soon as you get close, you'll see all 3 of the white markings on the minimap. This is honestly the best thing that could have happened. This is a super easy one. Then we went, opened up the crates, got the car, and drove back. And as you can see, this one only took less than 7 minutes, 6 minutes 53, and we got the bonus. And that was our highest paying one yet at 165,000. Now, at this point, it had been an hour. I think I could have done 6 in an hour if I would have sped up some of them. Obviously, as you guys saw, some of them took me like 13 minutes because I messed up. But I'm just being real with you guys. It took me 1 hour. So my total came to 688,000 for 1 hour's work. Now, I do think I could have done one more of these. So let's just, so it did, the total it cost for me, or the total I got for 1 hour was 688,000, which is still a decent amount of money for an hour's work. But just for the hell of it, because I think I could have done it, I'll just do the lowest one I got paid, which was 110. Let's say I could do one more of those. It would have been 798,000 in an hour, which is close to when we had the triple pay for the auto shop. For that, you'd get 900k, but after their take, it was 800k. So this is very similar to that as far as in an hour. All right, now that that's done, let's move on to the security contracts. Let's go ahead and see how much money we can make per hour with the security contracts. Now, this isn't VIP work, unfortunately, but it is the security contracts. Let me show you. So security contracts are going to be inside your agency under security contracts. You can see how many have I completed? 2. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of them. I have done a lot on another account, but I haven't done a lot on this account. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to spend 1 hour doing security contracts just so I can show you guys how much money you can make per hour this week. Let's jump into it. And just FYI, just like what we've been doing, the LSA operations, they're very similar. You're going to get 3 of them, and you can see there's level down here, professional, and then you also have specialist, the same thing as the LSA operations. Obviously, we're going to go for the most expensive. All right, 1 hour starting now. So the first contract we did, which in my opinion is the fastest and easiest one to actually do, and if you get a specialist plus, as you can see I got right here, you're going to get a nice little chunk of change. So the first one we did was recover valuables. Now for this one, you're just going to head over to Vanilla Unicorn Strip Club. Once you get inside, you're just going to take out a few people, and then basically almost immediately when you get in there, you're going to see there's a safe. Now all you need to do is get the code for the safe. So you're going to have to take out quite a few people. Now the code for me, I got this mission I think 3 times. Twice was where I got this one, as you can see right here, which is on the bar top. And one of them I'll show you later on when we get to that video. Once you've got it, you open up the safe, then you grab the watch, and then all you need to do is leave. I have my handy dandy Sparrow. We just flew back to our agency, dropped it off. And for this one, it does a bad job at showing you like how much money you get. It doesn't pop up saying this is how much you got. But obviously, as you saw at the beginning, it was 125,500. Now again, for these missions, there is a 5-minute cooldown. You can't skip between them like you can with the LSA mission. So some people may prefer that. You can take a break, stretch your legs, go and grab a drink, go to the bathroom. For me, what I did is I just went and grabbed some ammo, or not ammo, sorry, some body armor and some snacks, and then I just waited it out. So for the second one, we did gang termination. I also think this one's fairly simple. The only thing is you can take most of them out with the Sparrow, just absolute missile spamming, but there is always usually one that's hidden somewhere that you got to get out for. So anyway, we hopped in our Sparrow, headed over to the location. For this one, it was an abandoned motel. We absolutely missile spammed the hell out of this place. I was hoping that we could get all of them, but unfortunately, some of them were just hidden in those rooms and I couldn't quite get them. I probably could have if I spent a little bit more time spamming, but we ended up going on foot, taking them out, and then you just have to leave the area. Once you've left the area, as you can see right there, mission passed, and that was 105,500. That was less than the worst pay one we got from the LSA operations, but we'll see. Maybe because these are faster, we can do more. For our third one, we also got recover valuables once again. So we just had to head on over, like I did last time, to the Unicorn Club, walk through the same door. The safe was in a different location this time, but in the same back room. Take out some people, As you can see, the key card was in the exact same location this time. We grabbed the watch, flew on out of there, and mission complete. That was another 126,500. That's the highest paying one we've got so far. Next up, they were all pretty stinky as far as money this time, so we just did the rescue operation. For this one, we just had to fly on over to the docks, take out a few people with a helicopter. We got out of our helicopter, took out the last 1 or 2 people, picked up our client, and delivered him successfully to the safe house. This one was actually really easy, and it was really quick. And there you go, a mission passed. And for that one, we got 76,000. Again, much less than anything we've done up until this point. All right, for our 5th mission here, we got gang termination once more. Again, I just used the Sparrow for this one, so we picked up a Sparrow, flew on over to the sawmill, and I was lucky. I almost got all of them. We had 1 person remaining. I tried circling around, taking him out. Just more and more reinforcements kept coming, and it was starting to damage my Sparrow, so I just ended up landing the Sparrow, went looking for him, and I don't think I would have been able to take him out with the Sparrow anyway. He was hidden pretty nice and snug underneath like the sawmill. So eventually we took him out, went back to where I had parked my Sparrow, flew away, and there you have it. Mission passed. But it said, again, they do an awful job with these contracts showing you how much money you get paid. It just showed me how much money I owed for all of my businesses. But for that one, we got 110,500. Now, at this point, we did still have some time left, and we've already completed 5. We only completed 5 for the LSA operations within an hour, but for this one, we were able to do 6. And luckily for me, it was another recover valuable. So this one is very fast, very easy, and it was a good paying job. The highest paying job, as a matter of fact, out of all of the ones we've done today with the security contracts. So for this one, same thing again. We went over to the club, saw the safe, took out a bunch of people, but this time you can see that the code was actually down near the dance floor. So if you are doing this yourself, these are the 2 locations that I've had them. Same thing, went back to the safe, got the watch, flew away, delivered it back to the agency, and that was it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so now's the question, and I'm going to give you the answer. How much money did you make for the security contracts in 1 hour? Well, for this, I was easily able to do 6 missions instead of the 5, but even then, in 1 hour doing 6 missions, we made a total of $673,000. Now, to compare that to the 5 missions we did for LSA, we got 688. So we actually made about just over 10,000 more with the LSA missions. But like I said, during the LSA one, I do think I could have done 1 extra mission if I would have just not messed up on like 1 or 2 of them. And if I was able to do 1 more in an hour, that would have been 798,000, which would have been, you know, another 100K, more than 100K, another 150K. So all in all, though, I would say within an hour, both businesses are very similar. Even though the security contracts have a 5-minute cooldown, the missions themselves only take sometimes 3 minutes. Whereas the LSA operations, you can kind of go back to back and just go from mission to mission without waiting on a cooldown, but they do take much longer. So let me know which one you guys are going to be doing this week in the comment section down below, or you're going to be doing both. The first one being the LSA gave me 688,000. The second one being the security contracts gave me 673,000. So both of them basically the exact same thing. It just comes down to which one would you prefer to do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider hitting the like, subscribe if you're new, turn on notifications so you know when I upload more videos like this. I'd love to know what you guys are doing for money this week in the comment section down below. And as always, I will see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video. Goodbye.